Wife of freedom fighter burnt alive. Food and electricity cut off at strife-torn villages. Angry protest spill over to neighboring states. India today reaches areas no one else has. Manipur is burning. Our top focus on 6 p.m. Prime.
And that's our top focus right here on 6 p.m. Prime. I'm Nabila Jamal. It's been 80 days and counting. Manipur continues to burn. Many questions raised on the failure of governance along the northeastern state. Peace is far from achieved. We're still looking at violence, and India today has reached areas which no other channel has. I'm going to cut to the headlines first before I bring to you a special report on all the updates, Manipur. Parliament uproar. Prime Minister tears into the India alliance. India, the acronym, says Indian Mujahideen is misused. They also misuse the word India. So did East India Company. Congress hits back saying the Prime Minister is losing focus, speaking on East India Company instead of Manipur. Assam Rifles admits to illegal influx of 718 Myanmar refugees into strife-torn Manipur. Manipur government asks, how did intruders enter without documents? And big government counter against award Wapsi. Parliamentary panel warns undertaking from award recipients, saying they won't make awards political tools. Now you have the Congress versus Congress in Karnataka. 20 MLAs write to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah over ministers not responding to requests for funds. DK Shivkumar claims Operation Singapore conspiracy. And NSA's Ajit Doval holds key meeting with newly appointed China Foreign Minister Wang Yi. Doval says China to build strategic trust and says India is ready to work on border row. And amid the suspense over his disappearance from public eye, China removes Qin Yang as foreign minister, replaces by former foreign affairs spokesperson Wang Yi. He's been replaced. All right, 4 days of the monsoon session has been a complete washout in the parliament as opposition and the centre not willing to have a debate. While you have the big update now, Amit Shah, the Home Minister, says the centre has been waiting for a debate on Manipur, but it's the opposition running away from it. Here's the big news as Amit Shah says, government isn't afraid. We have nothing to really hide. People are watching you. We are ready for a debate. Opposition isn't. Listen in.
मैंने आज दोनों सदन के विपक्ष के नेता को पत्र लिखा है कि कितनी भी लंबी चर्चा के लिए मैं तैयार हूं। सरकार को कोई डर नहीं है। चर्चा जिसको करनी है मणिपुर पर वो चर्चा करने आए। हमें कुछ छुपाना नहीं है। हमने दोनों विपक्ष के नेताओं को मैंने आज पत्र लिखा है। मैं कहता हूं कि जनता आपको देख रही है। चुनाव में जाना है, जनता के खौफ को ध्यान में रखे और मणिपुर जैसे संवेदनशील इश्यू पर चर्चा के लिए उचित माहौल सदन में।
All right, now close to 3 months of violence in Manipur. The government, only to achieve peace, had suspended internet services. And now in the big development that's coming in, Manipur has partially restored its internet. So internet ban has been partially lifted. Only internet broadband has now been restored. Ban on mobile internet services continue in Manipur. We know that it's been over 83 days that violence still continues in parts of Manipur. At a time like this, the government has decided that they lift the partial ban. In fact, the government has now decided to restore broadband services while mobile internet services continue to be suspended. We know that Manipur, in areas, many of those areas there have been completely cut off from normalcy. In fact, there's no food supplies, electricity has been cut off, and internet was something that's been fully banned for the last few months ever since the violence began. But now in the latest and possibly in a positive move here, we're looking at a partial ban that's being lifted on internet services. Broadband has been restored in Manipur while the mobile internet services still remain suspended. Manipur continues to burn. We're looking at least 80 days that the violence has marred different parts of the northeastern states, and it raises certainly a lot of questions on the failure in governance. Clearly questions raised even in the parliament, and that's what's resulted in a logjam between the opposition parties as well as the ruling. The centre saying that Home Minister Amit Shah will address the problem, opposition demanding that Prime Minister Modi himself be part of the parliamentary proceedings addressing the matter. And now we see that some action taken in a positive direction when it comes to Manipur's internet services. That's really left life completely out of gear. Now we hear in the latest that Manipur broadband services has been restored now. Internet services on the phone, though, still remain suspended. This is the big update coming in Manipur. Of course, there's many lives that have been lost. The Meta and Koki community clashes, the ethnic conflict still continues. We see that the Koki community had carried out a huge solidarity march earlier today, and it's spilled over now even to Mizoram. Neighbouring states also continue to protest on the situation within the northeastern region. What's happening in Manipur has really now jolted the conscience of people across India. Post that video that went viral of two girls being stripped naked and paraded before they were gang raped. All right, what's happening in Manipur is all for us to see. We saw that video that went viral of two women who were stripped, paraded naked. They were gang raped, and that really jolted the nation. And how? We see now, post that video, many more stories are unraveling. Stories of horror. Let's take a quick look at what's happening in Manipur currently.
Days after a video of two Kuki Zomi tribal women being stripped naked and paraded went viral, more horror stories are coming out of Manipur. On May 4th, a similar crime took place in the state capital. Two young women who used to work at a car wash facility in Imphal were allegedly abducted, gang raped, and murdered by a mob. The victims belonged to the Kuki Zomi tribal community. The mother of one of the victims filed a complaint. An FIR was registered on May 16th. The FIR says the women, aged 21 and 24, were at a rented house when a mob entered their room and allegedly raped them before killing them.
When the problem gets started, her mother rang up twice, but she did not pick up the phone. But the last moment, one lady's Métis woman picked the phone. Whether you want your daughter alive or dead, she said to her mother. At that moment, they put up the phone. Later on, we knew that the lady was dead.
They were tortured to death, and there are another girl from your same village, right?
Mm-hmm. The two girls worked together in a Gama car wash. So the two were killed in the same day.
There are horror stories from both sides of the Meitei-Kuki divide. An 80-year-old widow of a freedom fighter from the majority Meitei community was locked inside her house and set on fire by an armed group in Kakching district.
उस दिन जब हमला हुआ, माँ को क्यों छोड़कर आए थे? क्या उन्होंने बोला था या फिर वो चल नहीं पा रही थी?
माँ तो मॉर्निंग का और कुकी मिलिटेंट में आया है, घर भी सपी भी है और घर भी अब सब अग्नि है,
जला दिया.
The fault lines run deep. These women from the Meitei community have put up barricades and built temporary bunkers to safeguard their territory near the Kuki-dominated areas.
As I pass through this Imphal stretch, which is a particular stretch divides the entire territory between Kuki-dominated territory and the Meiteis. And what I see here, women have taken charge here on the street, not only guarding their territory, but also maintaining these barriers, these barricades, where every vehicles are being frisked by these women. And the only reason is that they want safety of their families, their children. And these women, despite that many of them have been victim of the violence, they are standing tall against all odds. These women symbolize the power of women in Manipur.
डर तो डर है ना, डर हो गया तो हम लोग तो मेरा my village, my children, my family protection करता है ना. डर हो गया तो हम लोग तो सब मर गया तो क्या करेगा. डर हो गया तो हम सब उसके mother looks ने आ गया ना.
The crisis is spilling over. Thousands participated in a protest march in Mizoram, expressing solidarity with the Kuki-Zomi community in Manipur.
We are here in Aizawl today. We are seeing already big crowds gathering right in the heart of Aizawl to show their solidarity and protest. People are of course dressed in black because this is a somber occasion where people will be protesting against what they are calling the brutality on Kuki community in Manipur. At the same time, we can see men and women wearing the traditional scarf, which I'm told is called puan, and this is to symbolize somebody's death. And we know that more than 150 people have died in Manipur over the past 2 months due to ethnic clashes. You can see "Stop attacking our tribal brethren in Manipur." These are the kind of posters and placards that women have come out with.
He should give priority to the women of India, like he gave priority to the cow. So he should give priority. He should give protection for the women of India, not only from Manipur, all over India. All the Indian women, we are shouting now. We are asking for him, and he is still silent. So he is the one to protect us.
Mizoram CM blamed the Manipur government for the law and order collapse in the state.
Now the wound is really deep. It's very difficult to heal this with a painkiller. It needs a thorough investigation and a thorough solution, like the doctors doing the operation. Therefore, the situation in Manipur, it's more of an ethnic now. Therefore, I believe that both the government of Manipur as well as the government of India has to try their level best for the solution of this.
With Ritik Mondal, Indrajit Kundu and Ashutosh, Bureau Report, India Today.
You know, at this point, what we see in Manipur is highly unfortunate. 3 months on that this violence hasn't subsided. It's far from achieving peace anytime soon. But more importantly, as India Today steps closer to the epicenter, goes to areas which has not been ventured by any other channel, we found out that there are nearly 32 children who were born in relief camps in different parts of Imphal in just the last 60 days. What's really their condition? Let's find out.
Hope in the midst of gloom. This relief center in Imphal, Manipur has become a godsend for women and children hit by the ethnic violence. The camp has seen 32 childbirths in the last 60 days.
From 21st May to 21st July, 32 children were born in the relief camp of Imphal, the youth hostel, which is operated by the BJP workers here. These women somehow managed to escape from the conflict area, which are Churachandpur, Bishnupur, Torbang, and all these places. It took more than 15-20 days for all of them to at least gather the information about the old pregnant woman. Now all you see, these innocent faces, there is a sense of fear, apprehensions, concern for the future of their children, as they have seen their houses burn, family members killed, and somehow they escaped while they were pregnant, not just saved their lives but also their child.
When they came here, they were traumatized because of this conflict situation that happened in this Manipur. And then they were like, they have no hope because already their houses burned and their house has been, cracked down. Because of that situation, they have been like, oh, we don't have any hopes. How can we survive in this future?
The children who escaped the clashes with their families are adapting to the new realities of life.
ये क्या है ये क्या है? आप खेलते हो इससे? और ये क्या है? क्या लिखा है इसके ऊपर? पेपर। अच्छा, इस पे काउंटिंग लिखा है। 2 1 2, 2 2 4। पढ़ो, पढ़ के दिखाओ।
1 2 3 4, 2 3 6, 2 4 8, 2 5 10, 2 6 2 8, 2 7 14, 2 8 16, 2 9 18, 2 10 20.
Who's this? Is this you? Is this you? No? You? Is this you? Who's this? Who's it?
The images of violence still haunt these victims. Many recount their harrowing experiences on India Today's cameras.
यहाँ में तो बहुत ख्याल रखता है, डॉक्टर भी रखता है, मेडिसिन सब कुछ यहाँ में फ्री में देता है और खाना वगैरह सब वो लोग ने देता है.
For these women, going back to their villages is a no-go for now. This camp remains their only shelter and hope. With Ashutosh Mishra in Imphal, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, what we know is Ashutosh right now is in an area where that village is entirely cut off. There's barely any food supply, and we believe that nearly 80 days that village is suffering. They have no electricity, barely any food supply. Churachandpur and Bishnupur, these are the epicenters where Ashutosh has reached out in Imphal, northern part of Imphal, in Lima Kaong, where the Kuki and Meitei community are at war with each other. Here is exactly where Ashutosh has reached. Nearly 29 villages, 20,000 people of the Kuki tribe have been left isolated in that mainland. This is the one and only channel that's ventured into this area that's tense and begging, almost crying for help. Have a look.
I'm here in Limchang area. This is West Imphal. Imagine one district where you have two community people, which is now divided by their community, has literally become a drawn line of control between them. This part where 29 villages, more than 20,000 people are now literally isolated from the mainland. These people need medical attention, they need food, they need everything that any human being requires, but for now it left totally isolated, no help reaching out to them. Even during the victim, they have lost several people, there have been injuries, but for now this part remain unnoticed. India Today is at ground in this part of Manipur to bring you the details and tell you the story how these people caught in the crossfire of the ethnic clashes and now needs a solution, needs a longer permanent solution. Because of the conflict, many of these people have left their homes. Women, children have gone to the safer places. And those who are left here struggling for survival. The reason is, now look at these houses. There's a very old lady who's living here with the family. Almost nothing left now. But the what makes it critical is they are running out of food. Now in this house, this is the only amount of rice which is left, and it is sowing season. Of course, they have to go to 12 hours to Churachandpur to bring. In other cases, usual days, just by going 3 to 4 kilometers in the near West Imphal district, there is a big market, and that have been the tradition they have been sharing. They're going to sell their vegetables, bring the dry ration here. But as far as dry ration is concerned, what I see here, some amount of rice, which this family could barely survive for another 2 to 3 days. Only vegetables because they grow locally, that's all they have. And the moment you enter in the kitchen, all I see, this is the only vegetable that they have left, locally grown vegetable. And there I see the elder lady cooking some food in the chula. There is So that explains the situation and the plight of the poor people who are caught in the crossfire. But as far as the situation is concerned, there are some people who would speak about the current crisis. There are how many such families who are still living in this village and several other villages around, and how are they surviving?
Actually, because of this conflict, this violence, around, I should say 60 to 70% of the households are struggling to get their livelihood. Most of them, I should say, are daily wage earner, and now they are finding it hard to get 2 days a meal even.
What is the name of this lady? I see only this amount of dry ration left.
Yes, they have only this much left, and their livelihood is very, very uncertain. This is also the contribution of some goodwill people from their neighbors.
All right, really tragic situation where almost 28 villages there in Manipur's Imphal who are completely isolated owing to this violence. Swati Maliwal, who's the DCW chief, the Delhi Women's Commission, after much of the delay, we see they finally landed. NCW and DCW have landed in Manipur. What has she found? Swati Maliwal, thank you very much for speaking to India Today. I'd like to ask you, you're at the epicenter. Would you firsthand give us information on what you've seen there? 2.5 months post the violence, how does Manipur look?
I've come from Delhi to see what is the condition of women in violence-affected Manipur. I went to Churachand yesterday, all alone, without any security. The government provided no support, and yet I went there to a place where firing was going on, and it was extremely sensitive and unsafe, just to meet the families of those 2 survivors. I met the mother of the gang rape victim, who had also lost her son as well as her husband. I also met the husband of the other survivor of sexual assault, and both of them told me that no one else except for me has approached them till now from the government, both from the central government as well as from the Manipuri government. I was the only sole person to reach them. First I have reached them. So I just want to know that why is it like that? Why is it that the Manipuri government, when I can come all the way from Delhi without any security, I can reach Churachandpur, why cannot the Chief Minister of Manipur with all his bulletproof cars as well as his bulletproof jacket reach Churachandpur? The other thing that the survivors told me, that till now they have not got any counseling, they've not got any legal aid, they've not been given any compensation, and they are living an extremely miserable life. So what kind of a state are we trying to build? It is really shameful. I also went to other relief camps. I went to Moirang, I went to relief camps in Imphal, and it's very unfortunate that the government is not supporting these relief camps, which are mostly being run by just local volunteers. These relief camps, women and girls, they're having a bad time there because just so many people are there. They are overcrowded. Hardly 2 meals are being provided there, that too with the help of volunteers. There is a shortage of medicines, there is a shortage of relief supply, and I think this is very, very, very unfortunate. Manipur is burning. Thousands of homes have been burnt down. There have been hundreds of people who are missing. There have been hundreds of people who have been killed. There is so much chaos and violence here. I really fail to understand that why the government of Manipur is not in action mode, and why the Chief Minister is not leaving the comfort of his house and visiting relief camps, visiting areas like Churachandpur and trying to help people.
You know, Swati, what we're seeing in Manipur is ghastly. More importantly, it's the women who are bearing the brunt of this kind of violence. Always the women who are at the forefront when it comes to situations like this. They're the ones who are the real targets. In the latest, we believe a freedom fighter's wife was burnt alive.
In both the communities, very, very horrific cases are coming. All these cases, including this case of this freedom fighter's wife being burnt alive, which I've also heard, and a few people came today and showed me a copy of the post-mortem report. It is horrific. She was the wife of a freedom fighter and she was an 80-year-old woman. She was gutted to death. So the kind of horrific cases that are coming are really scary. I met another woman, she's a 70-year-old woman. I met her in Churachand Singh and she was just sleeping in her home peacefully, and right next to her there was her boy who was 25-year-old and he's the only son of this lady. And the moment she got up, she realized that firing has started and the boy woke up and the bullet hit him and he died on the spot. Right now, there is absolutely no one in her family and no one is there to look after her, and the kind of torture and trauma that she is going through is really, really horrible. There's another woman who came to me from Torgam, Bangla, and this is a village, and she came to me in the place that I'm staying. She came all the way to meet me because I believe nobody has met her till now, and she informed me how her husband and his brother and another friend have been missing from 11th of May, and she suspects that they have died. She was crying inconsolably, and what do you do if the state, the Manipur government fails to protect its people, and if the centre refuses to take the resignation of the Chief Minister of Manipur, how do you take things forward? I think the Prime Minister of this country needs to immediately come to Manipur, take stock of the situation, because people are very angry. People are very angry with the central government, people are very angry with the state government, and if the Prime Minister of the country comes here with his entire delegation of ministers, I think that things can be changed and we can try and build the Manipur that we all want, because it's a beautiful land, beautiful people, and it's very unfortunate that right now it is burning.
You know, it's unfortunate that there had to be a video that needed to go viral, as gory as two women being paraded naked, as inhuman as that, for the nation to stand up and take a close watch and condemn it, including the DCW and the NCW. Now, you're there only for the last 2 days, but the violence has been on over the last 3 months. A lot of cries for help have fallen on deaf ears. Why the delay in acting?
The National Commission for Women has failed the women of this country. There is absolutely no doubt about it. This horrific case of sexual violence that was reported from Manipur, the National Commission for Women had a complaint of it 38 days back, and they failed to take any cognizance on it. The Delhi Commission for Women, without any jurisdiction, without any powers, and I'm sorry to say without any security or protocol, enters this violence-torn region and is able to visit Churachand Singh and is able to meet those survivors as well as survivors of other communities and various other camps much before the National Commission for Women. It's only when the Delhi Commission for Women came here and met everybody else has the National Commission for Women, I think probably out of embarrassment, finally decided to reach Manipur. I think it is really shameful, and I think that people in these positions of extreme power should be held accountable and they should be asked difficult questions. And I also want to know, is the National Commission for Women, because they have the power and the jurisdiction to do so, have they summoned the DGP of Manipur? Have they asked him hard questions? Have they summoned the Chief Minister of Manipur? Have they asked him hard questions? Because I really want to know, how many relief camps has the government of Manipur set up? What kind of facilities are being provided there? Whether the police has been acted against? Because you see, those girls who were sexually assaulted and paraded naked, they have said that the police handed them over to the mob. How many police officers have been acted against? And the Chief Minister of Manipur has said that there are hundreds of such cases that have happened in Manipur. So what action has been taken in each and every case? So I think that the commission in power has to ask hard questions instead of just acting in a very delayed manner, because then it is just construed as too little and too late.
All right, Swati, as you're there, I'd like to ask you, do you foresee peace in Manipur anytime soon? People there are crying for help, begging for peace. What do you think should happen with immediate effect?
My heart has really bled in these days, because I always wanted to come to Manipur. It was a dream. I really always planned an itinerary where I wanted to visit this place and that place, and I was so excited that one day I will get a particular number of days in my life and I'll be able to visit Manipur. And I had never in my worst imagination thought that I will be entering Manipur in such a horrific time, where I'm just overwhelmed with the mind-numbing stories that I'm hearing. I'm crying, people are crying, but it's so unfortunate that a land which is so beautiful, I mean, everywhere you see, you just see beauty around. It's Jannat. It's so beautiful, and the people are so nice and so welcoming, and yet it is so violence-torn. And I really think that it is a complete failure of the state government, because if they would have acted properly and timely, I really think that violence could have been prevented. And even now, no accountability has been set. The Chief Minister has not been asked to resign. The DGP has not been asked hard questions. The Prime Minister of the country is not coming to Manipur. The Union WCD Minister, the Home Minister of the country is not coming to Manipur. So Manipur is a beautiful land, very beautiful people, and most importantly, it's a part of India. These are Indian people. We have to come here, we have to support, and I also appeal to all the civil society organizations. Right now, the crisis in Manipur is really too big, and as much relief material that can be sent to Manipur will probably be less. So I appeal to the civil society to please come, please give as much relief, as much aid to all sections of society in Manipur so that Manipur can be built again.
All right, Swati Baliwal, thank you very much. Let's just hope that your presence, and now even the NCW has landed up, that this really motivates the government to crack down on those perpetrators. Justice should be given to those people who have been violated, more importantly, apart from, of course, restoring peace in the state. Thank you very much. I'm going to slip into a short break. Coming back on the other side, we have a lot of eruptions happening within the Karnataka Congress. It seems like one of their own MLAs, a Congress MLA, has now shot off a letter to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah claiming that at least 30 ministers within Siddaramaiah's cabinet are not working as per rules, and that they're transferring arbitrarily. They're not consulting with the MLAs. Funds are not going out. Basically, there is severe lack of coordination within the officials in Karnataka government. Taking you through that on the other side. Stay with us.
Several villages in Turbang areas were burned in the ethnic clashes, the violence and all. I see only the footprints, everything that burned to these ashes. They blame for everything that is happening here to the Kuki government.
We are only defending ourselves.
There is a literally line of this area towards the Kuki side where you have a huge number of bunkers. No one could ever imagine that in a state, in the same country, in the same district, we will ever see such situation which has become a battlefield. And I could say this is a war zone in Manipur.
Grounded in journalism, on the ground reporting, only on India Today TV.
First, it was Himalayan states, then the national capital, followed by the Western India. And now it is the southern states that are bearing the brunt of nature's fury, with Karnataka being the worst affected. Several rivers in the state, including the Kaveri, are in spate due to incessant rainfall. In Kodagu, the Bhagamandala temple, a pilgrimage site for Hindus, is marooned by the overflowing Kaveri.
Bhagamangala temple is one of the most historic and ancient temples in Kodagu that attracts hundreds and thousands of tourists every year. And this is the situation, the road that actually leads to the Bhagamangala temple that is completely washed off by Kaveri river.
Water level in Harangi Dam has risen significantly, prompting officials to open all gates.
I'm standing at the Harangi Dam, which is located near Hudugur village, which is also next to Kushal Nagar. You know, the water level in this dam has significantly increased to the point that the dam is almost full. And as a result of this, the rate of outflow has also been sufficiently increased. It stands at about 8,000 cusecs. And as you can see the visual on your screens, all 4 crest gates have been opened up.
The district administration is on its toes as fears of floods increase.
The rains have been good till now. Landslides, no major landslides have taken place as of now. And not much of house damages also. They are partial in nature. And somewhere in the last 48 hours only, there are some places where the water has come up to the road level, and probably road is also not visible, but everything is under control till now.
In Udupi, a man slipped and fell into Arishinagundi waterfalls. Other parts of Karnataka, including Chikamagaluru, Dakshina Kannada and Hubli too, are reeling under tremendous rainfall. In Dakshina Kannada, images of students passing through knee-level water to attend pre-university exams are going viral. The Met Department says coastal Karnataka is expected to receive heavy rainfall in the upcoming days. Schools in several districts including Uttara Kannada, Kodagu, Udupi and Dakshina Kannada are shut on Tuesday. As Karnataka faces nature's fury, Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar visited BBMP War Room and took stock of the situation. Over the last 2 years, parts of IT city have faced extreme flooding and state government hopes to avoid a repeat. With Anagha Keshav, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, welcome back. We have some news coming in from Karnataka about rumblings within the Congress party. And here's the big news that we bring to you. 11 MLAs seem to be unhappy with the government of Karnataka. They're not happy with the way the government is functioning. Some of the MLAs have shot off a letter to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. That's a letter that we've accessed, accusing cabinet ministers of high-handedness. Karnataka's cabinet ministers are being accused of arbitrarily acting on transfers without consulting with their MLAs, not giving funds to respective MLAs. Nearly 20 to 30 ministers, is what the letter says, are not responding to constituency works and calls by the MLAs. Now, this is what a letter that's now circulating says, that nearly 30 MLAs within, or 11 MLAs were upset with 30 cabinet ministers in the state of Karnataka. A Congress legislative meeting has also been called in on the 27th of July, and a few days from now. But let me cut across to Baswaraj, the Congress MLA who's expressed unhappiness with the way the government is functioning.
Yes, definitely. Nearly about 30 senior legislators have written a letter to the Chief Minister to call a meeting of the Congress legislature party. There is nothing wrong in that. We have written that there are certain issues. We have elected recently, already 2 months is passed. We have to work hard for the people. Regarding that, development issues and certain coordination. The coordination between the legislatures and MLAs. For that, we want to have a detailed discussion in the legislature party. Please call the meeting. We start.
All right, some more updates coming in as it appears that one of their MLAs has taken a complete U-turn on the letter. You have B.R. Patil claiming that it's false. The letter itself is false. After some of the Congress MLAs' letter claiming government inaction has now gone viral, Congress MLA B.R. Patil claims they've only called for a legislators' meeting and that 20 ministers are not responding on funds is something that he says is not true. He says the letter itself is not written, therefore raising doubts on whether that letter is fake or not. Let me cut across to B.R. Patil, who takes a U-turn, justifying on the issues that now prevail within the Karnataka Congress, saying all is well. It's only a legislators' party meet that they've scheduled. There is no background to it. It's just a party gathering.
कौन लेटर जो लिखा है उसका बारे में आप कंप्लेंट करेंगे? पुलिस क्या एक्शन?
पुलिस को कंप्लेंट दे रहा हूँ।
पुलिस कंप्लेंट दे रहा है?
पुलिस
कब देंगे सर?
अभी दे रहा हूँ।
नहीं, कौन किसने किया है साजिश आपके?
हमारे खिलाफ बीजेपी वाले की।
बीजेपी वाले ने किया।
I'm cutting to Nagarjun Dwarkanath, who is tracking all the developments in Karnataka. Nagarjun, what an embarrassment. One MLA says that we've written a letter to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and we're unhappy with cabinet ministers. Another MLA comes out to say no letter like that. It's just a legislative party meeting. None of them are upset. What really is the fact on ground?
What we have picked up from our sources is that, yes, there are some disappointment among the MLAs in terms of how the ministers are working, while the MLAs claim that funds are not being released. And if third party interference work gets done, a middleman, if he interferes, then work gets done. So their own party MLAs have told the Chief Minister all these issues have to be sorted out in the legislative party meet, and AICC President Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge will also be present in the meet, is what we are told. So there is a platform for the MLAs to vent out their issues, problems, and point fingers at the ministers as to who they have issues with, and the Chief Minister can intervene and clarify. The U-turn by the Congress MLA, Mr. B.R. Patil, seems like the High Command and the party top brass here has told him to retract his statement, because just 3 hours back when we all spoke to him, he never retracted. But now around 6 saying that it's a fake letter and he has to he's asking the police to investigate. However, there's another senior Congress MLA, Mr. Basavaraj Rayareddy, who's gone on record to India Today to say that 30 MLAs have written to the Chief Minister asking for a CLP meet so that they can talk about such issues in the meet as well.
All right, well, you have one MLA saying unhappy, the other saying all is well. Clearly not all of them on the same page at this point. The Congress has come with a thumping majority in the state of Karnataka, but is all smooth in terms of its functioning. Questions being raised about the legislative party meeting that's been organized, with Mallikarjun Kharge now, we believe, flying down all the way from Delhi to Bengaluru only to be part of this meet. And that certainly says a lot. Thank you, Nagarjun, for joining us. A lot more on that as Congress calls for a legislative party meeting on 27th of July, with Mallikarjun Kharge going to be in attendance to oversee this legislative party meeting amid all that claims by DK Shivkumar that there is a larger conspiracy and a plan being hatched to destabilize the Karnataka Congress. Siddaramaiah, in fact, a few of the MLAs, we believe, have reached to Siddaramaiah. They've shot off a letter to him, as I mentioned earlier, claiming that they're not happy with their ministers. They're very unhappy. Ministers are not issuing funds, that a lot of transfers have happened arbitrarily, and this has led to a lot of confusion in terms of coordination in respective constituencies, Congress constituencies. Also, at the same time, you have Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivkumar, who's alleged that there is Operation Singapore that's being carried out by BJP and the JDS. He claims, DK Shivkumar, that JDS, even though he hasn't really explicitly mentioned JDS here, but in a very coded message, DK Shivkumar said that he knows of some people who've flown all the way to Singapore only to hatch a plan against the Karnataka Congress government. JDS, on the other end, receiving the hint and responding to it, says that we have, with 18 MLAs, how can they possibly destabilize a government of the Congress that's won with a thumping majority, 135 seats. JDS also says, Deve Gowda has said today that they have no intentions to ally with anyone, not even with the BJP.
They're just working out some political strategy for their political benefit.
Will that work, sir? Because you clearly said
nothing will work. Nothing will work. It is not a pot when if it's to anyone to break it. It is a strong, stable government.
See, legislative party meeting ನಾವು ಕರೆದಿದ್ವಿ ಕಳೆದ ವಾರ. ಆದರೆ ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದು ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಯಿತು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಕರೆದಿದ್ವಿ. ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಬಂದು ಇನ್ನೂ 2 ತಿಂಗಳಾಗಿರೋದಷ್ಟೇ ಈಗ. ಲೆಜಿಸ್ಲೇಟಿವ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಕರಿಬೇಕು, ಕರೆದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇವರೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಲೆಜಿಸ್ಲೇಟಿವ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಕರೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕರೆದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
All right, I'm going to cut across now to a short break. On the other side, taking you through the central government's decision on award wapsi. The Government panel says that they're going to be taking an undertaking now from the nominees of awards that the centre issues, asking them to promise that they will not use awards as political tool. This award wapasi culture that's become rampant now, the government wants to put an end to it. Stay with us.
It's a rebranding exercise, the size of which has rarely been seen. Sunday night, an X symbol was projected on the exterior of Twitter's offices in San Francisco, representing the new logo for the company. This was just hours after Elon Musk announced his intention to change Twitter's branding, replacing the familiar bluebird symbol with a white X on the black background. The change was simultaneously affected across the Twitter app, with its handle and those of Musk and Twitter CEO Linda Yaccarino now featuring the X logo. The Twitter bluebird, although, is still visible across the platform. Now even the website x.com redirects users to Twitter. Musk had last night announced a big change in store for Twitter. In a post, he said he wanted to change Twitter's logo and polled his millions of followers whether they would favor changing the site's color scheme from blue to black. Importantly, the rebranding is just the beginning of change for Elon Musk. The known disruptor has always seen X.com as a one-stop shop for everything financial, from banking to digital purchases, from comparisons to credit cards, investments and loans.
Well, thank you, Elon. It is such a treat.
On Sunday, CEO Linda Yaccarino only confirmed this, revealing their plans to build a super app out of Twitter, or X as it is now known as. According to the new CEO, the platform will soon be able to handle more audio and video functions, messaging, payments and banking to create a global marketplace for ideas, goods, services and opportunities. Reactions were swift, with most asking, with the change of name, what would tweets be called now? Elon Musk replied, X's. Meanwhile, in a poll by Business Today TV, the name Twitter clearly emerged as the user favorite, with just 29% saying they preferred the new X. Interestingly, Musk had co-founded X.com as an online bank in 1999. It had later been transformed into one of the world's digital payments system, PayPal. Musk bought back the X.com website after leaving PayPal, only to unleash it on an unsuspecting captive blogging audience. Bureau Report, India Today.
Quality today. In Delhi, 97. In Mumbai, 53. In Kolkata, 28. In Bangalore, 53. In Chennai, 44. In Hyderabad, 54.
Welcome back. Big government counter to the award wapsi culture that's now rampant across the country, when you have some people upset with the functionings or maybe with the government of today, they tend to return their awards. And this has become it become a constant affair. And in a bid to stop this, parliamentary panel has now suggested taking an undertaking from shortlisted candidates for Academy Awards beforehand, only to ensure that the return of awards is not used as an instrument of political protest. And noting that awards are apolitical, therefore, the return is disgraceful to the country. Parliamentary Standing Committee now in its report has suggested that awards by various literary and cultural bodies like the Sahitya Academy may not be given without such undertaking. And in an event that the award is returned, the awardee shall never be nominated or considered for an award ever in the future. All right, I'm going to wrap on this edition of 6 p.m. Prime. I'm going to leave you with the visuals here coming in from Noida of a bunch of vehicles stranded at the Noida Ecotech area due to rise in water levels in Hindon River. The Hindon River in Noida, a tributary of Yamuna, has witnessed dangerous rise of water levels. And this happened on the 24th. And here are the visuals where vehicles there are stranded. Water that's literally drowning most of those cars that are parked at Noida's Ecotech. I'm going to leave you with that.
High drama in the Rajasthan Assembly. Rajendra Singh Gudha, a minister till Friday, now an outcast within the Congress, is physically removed from the assembly on Monday by marshals. The MLA broke down outside the assembly after he was forcibly evicted from the house.
देखिए उसमें डायरी में कुछ भी नहीं था तो इन लोगों को सारे मंत्री मेरे ऊपर पड़ गए थे मुझे नीचे गिरा लिया गया था फिर मैं डायरी नहीं दे रहा था तो उन्होंने मुझे लाते गुस्से मार के डायरी में कुछ नहीं था तो क्यों निकाल रहे थे पूरी सरकार उस डायरी के ऊपर टूट के पड़ रही थी और वो तो दृश्य उन्होंने हटा दिए वो सारे के सारे जब वो गुंडागर्दी करने लगे हाउस के अंदर मेरे साथ जिस तरीके से डायरी छीनने के लिए मैं तो टेबल कर रहा था
Earlier, when the assembly convened, Gudha approached Speaker C.P. Joshi, flashing a red diary, claiming it contained some incriminating proof against Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot. This sparked an uproar with BJP MLAs joining Gudha in the well.
जब वो डायरी में कुछ भी नहीं था तो मुख्यमंत्री ने मुझे भेज के और वहाँ क्यों भेजा जब कुछ था ही नहीं तो और मुख्यमंत्री ने वो मेरी से डायरी मंगाई उसके बाद में आज सारे मंत्री उस डायरी पर इस तरीके से जैसे भूखे भेड़िए पड़ रहे हैं वैसे सारे मंत्री और विधायक मेरे ऊपर पड़ गए कम से कम 30-40 कितने लोग थे सारे मेरे ऊपर पड़ गए और मुझे जिस तरीके से दबा लिया उन्होंने और वो डायरी क्यों छीन रहे थे मैं डायरी को छोड़ना नहीं चाह रहा था
Claiming that he only wanted the government to take action against increasing rape cases in the state, Gudha said he was being wrongly accused of siding with Gehlot's rivals. For the BJP, Gudha's outburst has become ammunition to target the Gehlot government in the election year.
मुझे तो समझ नहीं आता कि एक लाल रंग की डायरी जिसको लेकर के आज जब राजेंद्र गुढ़ा जी वहां विधानसभा में पहुंचे थे तब जिस तरह से उनसे डायरी को छीनने के लिए कांग्रेस के नेताओं में होड़ मची थी और जिस तरह से जबरन उनसे डायरी छीन करके फाड़ने की कोशिश की गई कहीं न कहीं दाल में कुछ लाल है कि नहीं काला जरूर है
Gudha was sacked from the Gehlot government on Friday evening, hours after he targeted the state government over law and order in the state.
जाना चाहिए सच्चाई है कि हम महिलाओं की सुरक्षा में असफल हो गए और ये राजस्थान में जिस तरीके से अत्याचार बढ़े हैं महिलाओं के ऊपर मणिपुर के बजाय हमें अपने गिरेबान में झांकना
forecast now. Delhi, maximum 37 and minimum 30 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 28 and minimum 25 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 35 and minimum 26 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 23 and minimum 19 degrees. Chennai, maximum 29 and minimum 25 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 25 and minimum 22 degrees.
After Ozempic face, Ozempic butt, Ozempic body, we're now staring at Ozempic hair. Are you confused? You may have heard of dramatic weight loss thanks to Ozempic, Mounjaro and Wegovy that has got the world in a bit of a tizzy.
It can cause vomiting, it can cause diarrhea, it can cause a whole sort of range of gastrointestinal. So those are the worst side effects. Another side effect which is less talked about is the fact that because these molecules cause weight loss, which is predominantly fat, but they also cause some muscle loss. So some people get shrunk, they feel shrunk, they're shrinking and their muscle mass is going down. That's very disturbing for people. And some people would want to discontinue the medicine only for that reason.
Thanks to the rapid weight loss, the skin starts sagging, one starts looking older, and even the butt gets deflated. Quite an ouch moment. Now some people are reporting shedding hair with the pounds. Does not sound pretty at all. An American TikToker who lost 60 pounds while on Ozempic claims her hairline has receded so much that she now has to cover it with makeup. While hair loss has not been officially listed as a direct side effect, one must understand all support forums are exploding with this concern, as with sudden weight loss, the body tends to take away essential nutrients from the scalp. Add nutritional deficiency to the mix thanks to the rapid weight loss and you have a recipe for disaster, and that is called Ozempic hair. But fret not, there are some easy fixes. You can fix Ozempic hair, and that's the fabulous news.
Good evening, you're watching Mission 2024. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. Let me quickly take you through the headlines. Union Home Minister Amit Shah speaks on Manipur in Parliament, says government is ready to discuss and there is nothing to hide. Writes to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha leaders of opposition and appeals for cooperation.
मैंने आज दोनों सदन के विपक्ष के नेता को पत्र लिखा है कि कितनी भी लंबी चर्चा के लिए मैं तैयार हूं। सरकार को कोई डर नहीं है। चर्चा जिसको करनी है मणिपुर पर, वो चर्चा करने आए।
Prime Minister tears into India alliance, says Indian Mujahideen also misused India. Congress hits back, says debate on Manipur instead. Congress versus Congress in Karnataka, 20 MLAs write to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah over ministers not responding to requests for funds. DKS claims Operation Singapore conspiracy. Big government counter against award Wapsi. Parliamentary panel wants undertaking from award recipients, says do not make awards a political tool. NSA Ajit Doval holds key meet with newly appointed China Foreign Minister. Doval tells China to build strategic trust and says India is ready to work on border route. Amid suspense over his disappearance from public eye, China removes Qin Guang as foreign minister, replaced by former foreign affairs spokesperson Wang Yi. All right, the latest news break coming in. The Home Minister has spoken up on the Manipur crisis in Parliament. Amit Shah has said the government is not afraid of discussion. We have nothing to hide. People are watching you is when he speaks of the opposition. Shah has also written to Kharge and Adhir Ranjan saying government ready for debate. Amit Shah appealing to opposition to cooperate in Parliament.
मैंने आज दोनों सदन के विपक्ष के नेता को पत्र लिखा है कि कितनी भी लंबी चर्चा के लिए मैं तैयार हूं। सरकार को कोई डर नहीं है। चर्चा जिसको करनी है मणिपुर पर वो चर्चा करने हमें कुछ छुपाना नहीं है। हमने दोनों विपक्ष के नेताओं को मैंने आज पत्र लिखा है। मैं कहता हूं कि जनता आपको देख रही है। चुनाव में जाना है, जनता के खौफ को ध्यान में रखें और मणिपुर जैसे संवेदनशील इश्यू पर चर्चा के लिए उचित माहौल सदन में बनाइए।
All right, viewers, now in all of this, what is happening is where the opposition is concerned, they've dug in their heels steadfast on not what the government says is a short-term discussion. The opposition wants uninterrupted time to speak on Manipur, and importantly, the opposition wants the Prime Minister to address the issue and speak on Manipur. The government in that sense is saying they're open to a discussion, but a short-term discussion, which is with stipulated time, and the Prime Minister will not speak. So that's where the impasse lies. However, there is no end to this impasse in Parliament over the violence in Manipur. Now, day 4 of the Parliament monsoon session, and there's been no business in the House because of opposition ruckus. They're adamant on Prime Minister's reply on Manipur, with the centre too firm on its stand. Now, the question is, what will help end this stalemate in midst of raging Team India versus Modi government?
आप सदन नहीं चलाना चाहते, प्रश्नकाल जैसे समय का आप उपयोग नहीं करना चाहते। इस समय महत्वपूर्ण समय होता है। मेरा आपसे आग्रह है कि आप रोज नारेबाजी करते हैं।
No end in sight to the impasse in Parliament over the violence in Manipur.
नारेबाजी से कोई समस्या का समाधान नहीं निकलना।
Day 4 of Parliament monsoon session saw ruckus amid opposition sloganeering and aggressive government counter.
संसद की गरिमा को बनाए रखें।
Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla saw no success in breaking the logjam despite all party meet, as the government and opposition stuck to their stands. While the opposition sought a reply on Manipur from Prime Minister Modi alone, the government said only Home Minister Shah will speak.
क्यों आप इस पे बात करने के लिए तैयार नहीं है? क्यों मोदी साहब यहाँ नहीं आते और बात नहीं करते? क्यों अपनी बात को नहीं रखते यहाँ पर? क्यों हमको समझाते नहीं है? नहीं, वहाँ जो घटना घटी उसको बोलना चाहिए। बाहर तो बोलते हैं ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी के बारे में, अरे मणिपुर के बारे में बात करो ना।
मैं आपको याद दिलाना चाहता हूँ कि जब मणिपुर के इशू पे गृह मंत्री जी ने बैठक बुलाई, ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग, तब भी उन्होंने कहा मणिपुर पे चर्चा करा। प्रधानमंत्री जी वाला विषय उस समय नहीं था।
The government said it was ready to start a discussion on Manipur and crimes against women in states like Bengal and Rajasthan.
किसी भी बहन, किसी भी बेटी, किसी भी महिला, किसी भी बच्ची के ऊपर किसी भी प्रकार का दुर्व्यवहार होता है तो मैं समझता हूँ ये बहुत ही दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण स्थिति है। हमारी बहनें महिलाओं के ऊपर जो प्रताड़ना, जो उनके साथ दुर्व्यवहार राजस्थान में हो रहा है, जो छत्तीसगढ़ में हो रहा है, जो उनके साथ दुर्व्यवहार तेलंगाना में और पश्चिम बंगाल में हो रहा है, वो भी उतना ही दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण। There are 51 motions.
Centre's efforts to end the stalemate in Parliament is yet to make headway.
In your opening remarks, you ruled, and if I may say with respect rightly, that 267 will take precedence over any other rule.
No, I didn't say that. I said I am beholden to Mr. Derek O'Brien for having pointed this out yesterday.
And rightly you said, rightly.
And it had a rational impact because under Rule 267, you can seek suspension of 176 also.
Yes.
So preceding 176.
Yeah, you said rightly.
And I said we all learn. So I give him the credit.
You said rightly. You said rightly. Rightly 267 will precede 167, 176. Having said that, today there are 51 motions under Rule 267. How can you rule that out and start a discussion under 176?
Both opposition and BJP held meetings to chalk out their strategies, but both the sides are firm on their stance. Despite the pandemonium, the houses saw passing of several bills with virtually zero debate. With Mosmi Singh in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
सदन की कार्रवाई आज 2 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है.
Joining me right now is my colleague Polumi Saha with the very latest. Polumi, caught in the parliamentary jargon, not many people really understand on why is there a log jam, because at one end you have the government, you have the Home Minister a short while back also coming out and saying that they are open to a discussion and the opposition is stalling Parliament. On the other hand, the opposition is firm that the government is not open to a discussion. Can you give us both sides and simplify it for our audience?
Right. As far as the opposition's demand, Preeti, is concerned, they want a statement from the Prime Minister first in the House on Manipur and the situation in Manipur. And then, of course, a discussion under Rule 267, which is basically suspension of all business. This is a matter of exigency of emergency. Immediately suspend all business and have a discussion. What the government is proposing, at least in the Rajya Sabha, is a discussion, a short duration discussion under Rule 176. Basically, they'll slot it, and then, of course, that discussion will take place. A short duration discussion lasts about 2.5 hours, but they're not promising any statement from the Prime Minister. The government stand is very clear that the nodal ministry, as far as the law and order situation in Manipur is concerned, if you want a larger perspective from the center, the nodal ministry is the Ministry of Home Affairs, and the Home Minister is best placed in order to give that statement, considering he also went and visited and stayed in Manipur for 3 days in the course of these last couple of months, when he went and he stayed there for 3 days consecutively. And he, of course, will know best about the situation on the ground, and he can give you an update on what the situation is like on the ground. Today, of course, the Home Minister again reiterated that in the Lok Sabha as well. When he was speaking on the multi-state cooperatives bill, he, of course, said that the government has nothing to hide. The government is not afraid. We're willing to have a comprehensive discussion, but for that you need to create a productive environment, a positive environment, so that a sensitive subject like Manipur can be discussed. He's also written to Mallikarjun Kharge in the Rajya Sabha and Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary in the Lok Sabha, telling them that you need to cooperate. I seek your cooperation. An environment needs to be created for a comprehensive discussion on Manipur, and this is a very sensitive situation. The people of the country, the people of the Northeast, and especially the people of Manipur are looking to Parliament for support and reassurance of their commitment to restore peace in Manipur.
All right, Polumi, we're going to continue coming back to you. Appreciate it. Thank you for breaking it down for our viewers, because, one completely gets caught up in rule this, rule that, government versus opposition, both saying we're open to discussion. What is really the issue? We're going to keep simplifying it for you viewers. With that, I want to cut across right now to this ground report, because the bone of contention in Parliament is Manipur. What's really happening in Manipur? We saw the visuals there, which burnt a hole in our conscience of these two women being taken out, paraded naked, one of them gang raped. It wasn't just them. In midst of this ethnic violence, there are reports that there have been 2 other women, both working in a car wash, coming in from the tribal Kuki community, and both of them gagged, gang raped and killed.
Days after a video of 2 Kuki Zomi tribal women being stripped naked and paraded went viral, more horror stories are coming out of Manipur. On May 4th, a similar crime took place in the state capital. 2 young women who used to work at a car wash facility in Imphal were allegedly abducted, gang raped and murdered by a mob. The victims belonged to the Kuki Zomi tribal community. The mother of one of the victims filed a complaint. An FIR was registered on May 16th. The FIR says the women aged 21 and 24 were at a rented house when a mob entered their room and allegedly raped them before killing them.
When the problem got started, her mother rang up twice, but she did not pick up the phone. But the last moment, one lady's Métis woman picked the phone. Whether you want your daughter alive or dead, she said to her mother. At that moment, they put up the phone. Later on, we knew that the lady was dead.
They were tortured to death, and there are another girl from your same village, right?
Mm-hmm. The two girls worked together in a Gama car wash. So the two were killed in the same day.
There are horror stories from both sides of the Meitei-Kuki divide. An 80-year-old widow of a freedom fighter from the majority Meitei community was locked inside her house and set on fire by an armed group in Kakching district.
उस दिन जब हमला हुआ, माँ को क्यों छोड़कर आए थे? क्या उन्होंने बोला था या फिर वो चल नहीं पा रही थी?
माँ तो मॉर्निंग का और कुकी मिलिटन में आया है, घर भी सपी भी है और घर भी अब सब अग्नि है,
जला दिया.
The fault lines run deep. These women from the Meitei community have put up barricades and built temporary bunkers to safeguard their territory near the Kuki-dominated areas.
As I pass through this Imphal stretch, which is a particular stretch divides the entire territory between Kuki-dominated territory and the Meiteis. And what I see here, women have taken charge here on the street, not only guarding their territory, but also maintaining these barriers, these barricades, where every vehicles are being frisked by these women. And the only reason is that they want safety of their families, their children, and these women, despite that many of them have been victim of the violence, they are standing tall against all odds. These women symbolize the power of women in Manipur.
हाँ, डर तो डर है ना, डर हो गया तो हम लोग तो मेरा my village, my children, my family protection करता है ना. डर हो गया तो हम लोग तो सब मर गया तो क्या करेगा? डर हो गया तो हम सब उसके मदर लुक्स ने आ गया ना.
The crisis is spilling over. Thousands participated in a protest march in Mizoram, expressing solidarity with the Kuki-Zomi community in Manipur.
We are here in Aizawl today. We are seeing already big crowds gathering right in the heart of Aizawl to show their solidarity and protest. People are of course dressed in black because this is a somber occasion where people will be protesting against what they are calling the brutality on Kuki community in Manipur. At the same time, we can see men and women wearing the traditional scarf, which I'm told is called puan, and this is to symbolize somebody's death. And we know that more than 150 people have died in Manipur over the past 2 months due to ethnic clashes. You can see "Stop attacking our tribal brethren in Manipur." These are the kind of posters and placards that women have come out with.
He should give priority to the women of India, like he gave priority to the cow. So he should give priority. He should give protection for the women of India, not only from Manipur, all over India. All the Indian women, we are shouting now. We are asking for him, and he is still silent. So he is the one to protect us.
Mizoram CM blamed the Manipur government for the law and order collapse in the state.
Now the wound is really deep. It's very difficult to heal this with a painkiller. It needs a thorough investigation and a thorough solution, like the doctors doing the operation. Therefore, the situation in Manipur, it's more of an ethnic now. Therefore, I believe that both the government of Manipur as well as the government of India has to try their level best for the solution of this.
With Ritik Mondal, Indrajit Kundu and Ashutosh, Bureau Report, India Today.
I want to cut across to my colleague Indrajit Kundu, who's joining us from Aizawl, which is in Mizoram, bordering Manipur. Indrajit, you were there through the course of the day, a massive groundswell of sort and protest in solidarity of the Kuki community. Two things, Indro, are happening in Manipur. One, that we are seeing an exodus of the Meitei community, especially after a warning which was sounded by certain Kuki elements. On the other hand, Indro, what is in fact surprising and also needs to be noted is that the Chief Minister, the Home Minister, both of them are part of the NDA, the government in Mizoram, which is up for election, a state by the end of this month, end of the year. Both of them are part of the NDA, but very, very critical of the centre and the state governed by Biren Singh.
Well, that's right, Preeti. You heard the Chief Minister, Mr. Zoramthanga, clearly stating that no painkiller is going to, heal the pain in Manipur, and it requires operation, clearly suggesting that it requires some sort of a political solution. And thousands of people who came out on the streets of Aizawl today, they had posters and placards in their hands saying separate administration is the only solution. It's the same narrative that we've seen on the other side of the border in Churachandpur, in Kuki-dominated Churachandpur, where the tribals were saying that there is no way that we can live in Manipur with the administration which is predominantly Meitei. As far as Aizawl is concerned, as you say, there was a minuscule Meitei population which used to stay here, especially students, people who used to work. They've all left to Manipur over the past 72 hours and more. And there is no Meitei as far as I can see. I haven't met any Meitei family here in Aizawl since I came here yesterday. So yes, it's a similar situation in Manipur as well, because in the valley in Manipur, you won't see a single Kuki left. In the hill districts, which is the Meitei-dominated Churachandpur district, or for that matter, Kampokpi district, you won't find a single Meitei in those areas. They've all moved to the valley. So in a sense, there is a clear ethnic demographic divide. A lot of them have also crossed over to Mizoram in the bordering areas, and they have taken shelter in the temporary relief shelters that have propped up suddenly, and the Mizoram government, of course, providing them assistance at this point in time. So clearly, this is a problem that would require a direct political intervention by the central government. It's not just a law and order issue, it's much, much beyond a law and order issue now.
All right, Indro, you're right there. And will it spread to other states in the northeast? That remains to be seen. Appreciate you joining us. Indrajit Kundu reporting from Aizawl, Mizoram, bordering Manipur there. Meanwhile, where Manipur is concerned, in midst of the ongoing situation, a ray of hope as the violence and all its attendant problems take a back seat when new mothers see a smile on their newborn babies' faces.
Hope in the midst of gloom. This relief center in Imphal, Manipur has become a godsend for women and children hit by the ethnic violence. The camp has seen 32 childbirths in the last 60 days.
From 21st May to 21st July, 32 children were born in the relief camp of Imphal, the youth hostel, which is operated by the BJP workers here. These women somehow managed to escape from the conflict area, which are Churachandpur, Bishnupur, Torbang, and all these places. It took more than 15-20 days for all of them to at least gather the information about the old pregnant woman. Now all you see, these innocent faces, there is a sense of fear, apprehensions, concern for the future of their children, as they have seen their houses burn, family members killed, and somehow they escaped while they were pregnant, not just saved their lives, but also their child.
When they came here, they were traumatized because of this conflict situation that happened in this Manipur. And then they were like, they have no hope because already their houses burned and their house has been, cracked down. Because of that situation, they have been like, we don't have any hopes. How can we survive in this future?
The children who escaped the clashes with their families are adapting to the new realities of life.
ये क्या है? ये क्या है? आप खेलते हो इससे? और ये क्या है? क्या लिखा है इसके ऊपर? पेपर। अच्छा, इस पे काउंटिंग लिखा है। 2 1 2, 2 2 4। पढ़ो, पढ़ के दिखाओ।
1 2 3 4, 2 3 6, 2 4 8, 2 5 10, 2 6 2 8, 2 7 14, 2 8 16, 2 9 18, 2 10 20.
Who's this? Is this you? Is this you? No? You? Is this you? Who's this? Who's it?
The images of violence still haunt these victims. Many recount their harrowing experiences on India Today's cameras.
यहाँ में तो बहुत ख्याल रखता है, डॉक्टर भी रखता है, मेडिसिन सब कुछ यहाँ में फ्री में देता है और खाना वगैरह सब वो लोग ने देता है.
For these women, going back to their villages is a no-go for now. This camp remains their only shelter and hope. With Ashutosh Mishra in Imphal, Bureau Report, India Today.
With that, I'm going to go into a quick break. To stay with us on the other side is our fact check segment.
Armed with facts, she takes the news by its horns.
You think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
is the infamous power fight back in the state of Karnataka. Months after Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and his deputy D.K. Shivkumar buried the hatchet and agreed to the power-sharing formula, comes a big shocker. Congress veteran and MLC B.K. Hari Prasad on Saturday slammed Chief Minister Siddaramaiah for not giving him the funds to build the Koti Chinnaya theme park in Karkala, a coastal town in Udupi district. B.K. Hari Prasad calls himself the kingmaker, who knows how to make and break chief ministers. He credits himself for the elevation of Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel.
ಉಡುಪಿ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆ ಕಾರ್ಕಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಟಿ ಚೆನ್ನೈ ಥೀಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ಗೆ 5 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಶೂನ್ಯ, ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ರಾಜಕೀಯವಾಗಿ ಬಿಡಿ, ಅವ್ರು ನನಗೇನು ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ರಾಜಕೀಯವಾಗಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನೇ ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆಗ ಹಿಂದುಳಿದ ವರ್ಗಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಭೂಪೇಶ್ ಬಘೇಲ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಸುಮಾರು 6 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಸತತವಾಗಿ ಛತ್ತೀಸ್ಗಢಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇಳಿಸೋದು ನನಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ.
कभी डीके शिवकुमार बनाम सिद्धरामैया.
The Bharatiya Janata Party was quick to seize the opportunity to target the Congress party, claiming the role of D.K. Shivkumar behind Hari Prasad's outbursts.
कभी हरि प्रसाद जी बनाम सिद्धरामैया, ये इनको जोड़ ले. पायलट गहलोत, गुडा और गहलोत, इन लोगों को छोड़ दे. छत्तीसगढ़ में जोड़ ले, हिमाचल में जोड़ दे. अपनी पार्टी को, अपने परिवार को नहीं जोड़ पाते हैं और पूरे देश को जोड़ने की बात करते हैं.
B.K. Hari Prasad is a very powerful man, and whatever he has said is the claim what we have been saying. Karnataka Congress Party is split house and with the 3 gates, and definitely there will be a change of guard.
Hari Prasad, an OBC face, is a former Congress General Secretary. He is said to be sulking for not being included in the Siddaramaiah cabinet. Siddaramaiah's ministers hit back at Hari Prasad, slamming him for his claim of installing Chief Minister Siddaramaiah.
Hari Prasad ಅವರು ಯಾವ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ಲೇ ಮಾತಾಡೋರೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ಇಳಿಸೋದು ಕಳಿಸೋದು ಶಾಸಕರ ಕೈಯಾಗಿ, ಶಾಸಕಾಂಗ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಅವರೊಬ್ಬರ ಕೈಯಾಗಿರೋದು.
SBI Mutual Fund, a partner for life. UBI, अच्छे लोग अच्छा बैंक. G, there's only one.
Manipur simmers, Mizoram on the boil. Ethnic clashes in Manipur scar neighboring Mizoram. Mighty community exodus from the state. Mizoram holds mega solidarity protest for the Kuki community.
And they are feeling extremely emotional about it. They're continuously raising slogans, not just against the Manipur administration, not just against the Manipur police, but they're saying even the centre's role has been very dismal. Let's talk to one of the ladies, ma'am.
See, we feel that this is not just a rape of our sister. We feel this is the rape of the whole world, of India, of all women of the world.
Groundswell of black bands, banners in protest. Mizoram Chief Minister joins the protest. Makes clear part of NDA but against NDA policies.
In the present situation, which the government of Manipur and the government of India has done is not enough. We know that. Therefore, they have to do it more.
Mizoram Home Minister wants his fellow NDA ally Biren Singh to step down.
Central government and Manipur government to take action to stop immediately violence between the two groups.
Mizoram set for elections this year, singed with the Manipur fire. Other northeast states getting pulled into the Kuki versus Meiteis crisis. Drop focus to the point this evening. So the question we raise into the point this evening is, are other northeastern states getting pulled into this ethnic clash between the Kukis and the Meiteis? The latest right now is the neighboring state of Mizoram. Going into elections by year end, and what we saw today in Mizoram was a groundswell of sorts, a sea of solidarity coming in for the Kuki community. But on the sidelines of it, we've also seen an exodus of the Meitei community from Mizoram. I want to cut across to our guest this evening. Joining me is Piu Lalboi Nyasal, General Secretary, All Manipur Tribal Union. We'll be joined by our other guests in just about a short while. But Mr. Piu Lalboi, I'll ask you a question, sir. At one end, yes, there's a groundswell of sorts, especially in the neighboring Mizoram today, where thousands came out, including the Chief Minister, the Home Minister going to the extent of asking for the resignation of the incumbent Chief Minister of Manipur, Mr. Biren Singh. But the question I ask you, Mr. Lalboi, is also, on the sidelines of it all, there's a huge exodus of the Meitei community from Mizoram. An eye for an eye somewhere down the line, Mr. Piu Lalboi?
Yes. Thank you for the privilege given to me, ma'am. It is not an eye for an eye, I have to say, because if it is an eye for an eye, with the tribal, the Kuki-Jou community never touch any mandir or any churches that belongs to the Meitei, or we never kill anyone among the Meitei communities. Whereas we give protection, we give a free hand to be transported properly. The thing that has been done or happened in Aizawl is a humanitarian ground. When the two women are being paraded naked, when the whole world roll and mourn about this one, it is a mayhem, chaos, and it is a great tribulation. It is the most horrific incidents that happened in my life too. Nobody accepts this kind of inhuman atrocities toward the Kuki-Jou tribal group. So in solidarity of supporting that inhuman act of a woman paraded naked, touching their private part, beating and raping by the mob in the street in the daylight, nobody accept. Even peoples around the whole world criticize and condemn about this incident. That is why they are taking part as a humanitarian ground. At the same time, what I would like to draw this thing is that the point is that till that, why the Prime Minister, the President, the Home Minister is keeping mum? Why they're silent? Where is their law? Where is their constitution? When they say that Beti Parao, Beti Bachao, what is their Beti Parao, Beti Bachao? What is where there is no empower of women, where there is no protection of women? It is not a shame to Manipur women. It is a shame to the whole community and citizen.
I want to ask you a question, Mr. Lalboi, and that relates to the exodus of the Meitei community from Mizoram. Now, we have our reporters there, and understandably there's been a lot of violence that your own community has faced in Mizoram, and hopefully now you've got the spotlight there and there is coverage there. Your plight is being highlighted. On